Hello, welcome to Digital Signal Processing online lecture series. Myself Reema Rawal from LG Institute of Engineering and Technology. In this session, we are going to see the topic Nyquist rate and Nyquist interval. Here we are seeing the introduction level of digital signal processing, so that we can get the basic idea of the digital signal processing and we can move ahead. So in the previous sessions, we have seen the block diagrams and the basic fundamentals like advantages and disadvantages and the differences of digital signal processing and analog signal processing. Now, we have also seen that to convert any analog signal into digital signal, we have to perform three steps. First one sampling, second one quantizing, and the third one is encoding. So, in sampling, we have seen that there is a sampling theorem condition which must be satisfied to avoid aliasing effect or fold-over error. This condition is called as sampling condition, which is given as Fs, that is signal frequency, which should be greater than or equals to twice of Fm, that is double to that of the maximum frequency. So using that, in this session we are going to see how we can find out the Nyquist rate and Nyquist interval. So we will see the examples based on that. So let's start with that. So first of all, let us see what is Nyquist rate, what is oversampling, and what is undersampling. So when signal frequency Fs is exactly equals to twice of Fm, that is called as the Nyquist rate. And when the signal frequency is greater than this twice of Fm, that is called as the oversampling. And if this signal frequency is less than twice of Fm, that is the third condition, it is called as undersampling. So here three conditions are indicated: undersampling, Nyquist rate, or as you can say exact sampling condition which is satisfied, and oversampling. Now let us see the examples based on this Nyquist rate, and let's see how we can find out from the given sequences Nyquist rate and Nyquist interval. So here we are considering the first example where the data is given to us is find the Nyquist rate and Nyquist interval if x of t equals to 3 cos 500 pi t plus 10 sin 300 pi t minus cos 100 pi t. So this is the data which is given to us, and it is asked here to find Nyquist rate and Nyquist interval. So we know that omega equals to 2 pi f. So we will consider this part, that is cos 2 pi fmt or as cos omega t with respect to 2 pi f to obtain the values of frequencies. How we can find out? So if we look at the equation, here we have three terms. First term is 3 cos 50 pi t plus 10 sin 300 pi t minus cos 100 pi t. So here we can find out three frequency values. So from the first one, if we compare it with the 2 pi f1 t, then we can obtain the equation cos 50 pi t, that is equals to cos 2 pi f1 t. So if we simplify it, we can find out the frequency from that, that is 25 Hz. Simply you can divide that term by 2 and you get the value. Let's say for example for the second term, 10 sin 300 pi t, we have 300 pi t in the bracket. If we divide that 300 by 2, we will get 150. That is our second frequency value, right? So here f2 equals to 150 Hz, f3 equals to 100 by 2, that is 50 Hz. Now from all of these three frequencies, we have to find out the maximum frequency. So from these three options, that is 25 Hz, 150 Hz and 50 Hz, we have the maximum frequency which is 150 Hz, that is so obvious. So here we have F max, that is maximum frequency, equals to 150 Hz. And from the Nyquist rate formula, Nyquist rate is given as twice of Fm, which is 150 over here. So we'll have the value twice into 150, that is 300 Hz. So here we have the Nyquist rate value 300 Hz. Now how we can find out the Nyquist interval? So Nyquist interval is the inverse of the Nyquist rate. That means Nyquist interval Ts is given as 1 by Fs. So here we have Fs, that is 300 Hz. If you place that value in this, we will get 1 by 300, that is equals to 0.0033 seconds. You can convert it into milliseconds as well. Now, this is how you can find out from the equation Nyquist rate and Nyquist interval. Let us see one more example. So, here the data given to us is, consider the signal x of t, that is equals to 3 cos 50 pi t plus 10 sin 100 pi t plus cos 100 pi t. If the signal is sampled with sampling frequency Fs, which is equal to Nyquist rate, what will be the discrete time signal after sampling? So here it is asked to find the signal after sampling. So how we can start to solve this? So first of all, let us compare the equation with our standard equations. That means to find out the frequency values. We will obtain the frequency values. From that we will find out what is the maximum frequency value, and using that we will find the Nyquist rate. So here we have the equation x of t, that is equals to 3 cos 50 pi t plus 10 sin 100 pi t plus cos 100 pi t. Okay. So here the first frequency value from the first term we can obtain is 25 Hz. So F1 is 25 Hz. F2, that means in this bracket 100 divided by 2 we will get 50. So F2 will be 50 Hz. And F3 will be 50 Hz as well, because here in the third term we have also 100 in the bracket. So from all of these three frequency values, the maximum value will be what? Fm, F max, that is equals to 50 Hz. So signal frequency formula is what? Fs equals to twice of Fm, that is 2 into 50, that is equals to 100 Hz. Okay? This is how we can find the Nyquist rate. Now, what we have to do here is, here the corresponding discrete signal which is to be found out, x of n, it can be obtained by putting t equals to n by Fs. Okay? Fs is what? We have found out the value of Fs, that is equals to 100. So in the given equation we will place that. So from x of n, that is equals to first term 3 cos 50 pi n, we will divide by 100. Then second one will be plus 10 sin 100 pi n by 100 plus cos 100 pi n by 100. If we will simplify this equation, we will get 3 cos pi n by 2 plus 10 sin pi n plus cos pi n. Okay? If you place n equals to 0, 1, 2, 3 up to infinite, whatever the values are, sin n pi will always be equals to 0. That means if you take sin 1 pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, likewise, all values in the integer multiple of pi will be 0. So our equation will reduce to x of n, that is equals to 3 cos pi n by 2 plus cos pi n, because the sin pi n term will be 0. Okay, so this is our required discrete transform signal. Okay, discrete time signal which is asked to us to find. Alright, now let us move to the next example. So here in this example, the data is given is like this. Find the Nyquist rate if signal is x of t, that is equals to twice of cos 50 pi t plus cos 150 pi t. Now, we should understand that whenever we find the Nyquist rate or Nyquist interval, the term should be in the addition or subtraction form. Here they are in multiplication form. So we need to make it in the addition form. So for that, we will apply the formula which is 2cc. That is twice of c will be equals to c plus c. Okay. So using that formula, we will have cos. First one, angle addition, that means 50 plus 150, that is 200 pi t, plus cos, in that a minus b, that is 150 minus 50, we will have 100 pi t. Okay, so this is our x of t by applying the formula 2cc, that is equals to c plus c. Now, first one, that is first term cos 200 pi t, if we divide it by 2, we will have the frequency value f1, that is equals to 100 Hz. And f2 will be 50 Hz. So here from these two available frequencies, the maximum value is what? The maximum value is 100 Hz. So if we want to find out the Nyquist rate, it is given as what? Nyquist rate is given as twice of fm. That is equals to 2 into maximum frequency, which is over here 100. So we will have Nyquist rate, that is equals to 200 Hz. Okay. Here only Nyquist rate is to be found out, but also we can find the Nyquist interval. We know that Nyquist interval is what? Inverse of the Nyquist rate, that is equals to 1 by 200. So the answer will be 0.005 seconds. Here also you can convert it into millisecond. Okay. So the examples which we have seen in this section were based on the Nyquist rate and Nyquist interval. Okay, the variation in the value of the frequencies or in the form of the equation will be different. It may happen that you are asked for the multiple terms, but the procedure will remain same. All you need to do is to find out the frequency values for the separate cases, and then after finding the maximum frequency from all of the available frequencies, you can find out the Nyquist rate using the formula twice of fm, that is twice of the maximum frequency. Okay, and Nyquist interval is the inverse of the Nyquist rate. So I hope that this concept is clear to you now. Thank you for listening.